Hello Internet, my name is Ace and today we're going to be talking about measuring things in 1 point perspective. So let's just jump right in it. So let's grab a quick horizon line. In fact, let's grab a sensible brush size first. So there we go. So we've got our horizon line there. And then let's just do something simple like a road or something like that. So let's find the vanishing point. Let's stick it about here. It's about the center. And let's draw some. Let's go to the ruler. Let's draw us a line down here and a line down here. Okay, so we have a road. Now, let's say we were going to put some fence posts down, okay, or something like that. So let's make these fence posts just slightly larger than, or let's make them just a little bit larger than our eye line. Now, we're talking in 1 point perspective, so the horizon line is our eye line. So let's assume we're standing up, we're not sitting down. And let's put in some fence posts that are about this big. Okay? Perfect. Let me draw them in this ruler and we'll get nice thick posts. There we go. Nice and thick. So let me just stick this on another way. So this is how high we would like our fence post. So this is eye line. So the top of the head's about here, so it's maybe a foot taller than ourselves, something like that. So we really want to place these posts going back evenly in perspective. So how do we do that? It's very simple. All we have to do is draw a point to the horizon line going from the top of whichever object. Now this doesn't have to be a fence post, this could be people, it could be doors, it could be windows, it could be anything like that. I'll do some windows in a minute and show you what I mean with windows. So let's draw this line going back like this. Okay, so this is the height all the way along. So if we wanted to put in another fence post, there we go, then we know exactly how high we need to be with our object. It needs to be connected at the bottom and the top. So let's just place this object in. Let me just find the line tool. There we go. Let's place this object here, and let's say from here on we want our fence posts to be this high, and this not this high, this far apart. So how would we do that? It's very simple. All we need to do is, if we look at an object from the front, like a square, if we want to find the center of a square, all we need to do is create some diagonal lines, like so, and this line that goes through here, this is the center of the square in both directions. Now, does this work with objects that are not a square? Of course it does. So let's take a really wide rectangle like this, and let's connect all these objects together like so. And this line here, we'll go through there roughly, is the center line for both directions. Okay, so let's just draw that like that. So that's the center line. Just come out this way. So that's how we work the center out of an object. So how can this help us? Well, if we find the center of this object, so let's start here and add these guidelines in like so. Let's go from here to here, from here to here. This part here is the center. Now if we wanted to place something in the center, if we wanted to place a fence post right here, we know exactly where to place that. But if not, it's not a problem. We now know the center line. So let's drag a line from this center part here to our horizon line, like so, to our vanishing point, sorry. So now we know the width of what we need to do, and we know the height, and we know the center point. So all we need to do now is, let's look at this from a side point of view first. So let me grab a square, a rectangle, whatever. So if we've got this and we want to find where to place the next one along, because it's easier to work things out in non-perspective first and then transfer them over to perspective, because it's just easier on the mind that way. So if we figure out that this is how we find the center of an object, like this, then all we need to do is we need to go from this top point here, like so, and where we need to place this is, in fact, let me just get the top and bottom in, because we already have these in perspective. So what we need to do is we need to go from this point here, intersect at the point at this plus sign here, okay? Drag this down and connect, and right here, this space here is the same as this space here. Alright, so all we're doing is we're taking that and we're putting that in perspective. Okay, so this should be the two posts, and it is. So let's grab our line tool, and you can be doing this with a ruler if you're working on pen and paper. Let's I guess I didn't grab the line tool. And we're not intersecting here, this is the horizon line, we're intersecting right here. Let's intersect at this point, and the point in which this connected, if we go up, actually let me put that on the fence post one, like so. This is the height and width of the post in perspective. So if we get rid of that, all of these, although they'll look thinner here than here, that's just because it's going further back in perspective, but these are perfectly placed. So let's do a few more, just to kind of really see where we're placing things. Okay, so let me go on here, and we'll fly through these a bit quicker now because you understand how this is done. Right, so what we need to do is we just need to grab the point from here, intersect here, and then draw a line up. And we can keep doing that and doing that and doing that. So I'll do a couple more. And you can do that infinite until, oops, sorry. You're going from, always from the one before. You're just going from the one before, where it intersects. So you're looking for this point here, and then just cutting through it. Like so. Do one more. And you can go back as far as you'd like in perspective, and you would have fence posts. Now, what if you wanted to have two posts, miss out two, then have another two? Well, you just carry on doing the same. Now, I think I've missed. Okay, let's do three. Miss one out, have three. Okay, just because that's the way it's kind of followed with my guidelines. So let's just zoom in a little bit there so we can get kind of nicely. So we've got three, miss one, and then we'll draw another three. So we've got three posts. Have we? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 posts, miss one, and then we'll do another 4. In fact, let's miss 2. Just so it looks kind of like that. Okay, so we're going to have 3 posts, miss 2, have 3 posts. And as you can tell, I'm just working this out as we go along. But it's good to always have a plan in place when you're working things out. So we want one here. Like, kind of know what you're going to draw before you start drawing, and your pictures will always look better. So another one right here. And we can carry this pattern on infinitely all the way to the horizon line. So I think we need to put one more in, which is going to fall right there. So here we have a pattern that goes 3, miss 2, then 3. So that's what that looks like in perspective. Now, it might seem, when you're looking at it, you're like, wow, that's quite strange. But let's add the extra 1, 2, I think, in there. Do we need to add 2? So, yeah. Alright, so 1, 2. Oh yeah, we need to add 2 in. So let's draw this line going up, and this line going up. So now if we remove the guidelines, all of these are placed evenly in perspective. Now these are maybe 3 feet apart or something like that. So that is how we place things, and like I say, this can go all the way back as far as you want, all the way back into perspective, and it makes sense. So we could join these things together, add posts in the middle, all things like that, and we would have, say, a fence or something like that. So this is how this comes in handy. Now, what if we want to do something like place some windows, and we'd like a pattern of... Now, we can work out any sort of plan, and what I'll do is I'll do how to draw plans in perspective. I'll do a video on that. I'll maybe do that next week, because you can get some really exciting stuff with that, because you can basically just draw something in 2D, like the side of a building, like crazy placements of windows. You can measure anything, and you can translate them into perspective pretty easily, really. Very easily, if anything. You just need to know how to do it. Right, so we've got all these guidelines. So let's add a building on the other side of the road. Okay, so let's grab our ruler, find the point, and it's going to be something like that. I mean, this is not a very tall building. Let's add something a little bit taller, because obviously this part on the horizon line is 5-6 feet, depending on how tall you are. So let's add that in there. And now let's not worry too much about creating a perfect looking building or anything like that. We're just concerned with measuring. So here we are. So let's make the building from here to, let's say, here. Okay, and this building is going to be going, in fact, let's do this. Let's add a square. So this building's cutting off here and going back into, because this is the front and this is not going to be in perspective. That's how the building would look to us, because we're in one point. So, I've not added off where we're placing this. So we're just placing these things, like I say, arbitrarily at this point. We're not concerned with having a perfect looking scene that works 100%. So what we're going to do is let's place the windows. For example, let's add this ruler like that on the point, roughly, because it's playing up a little bit. Now where is this? Thank you. Then let's have the height of the windows, for example, here, and let's say here, quite close to the horizon line. So these windows are probably starting at about head height. So probably a door frame would end here, but it doesn't matter. We're not talking about reality. So let's just say we wanted to split this into like 6 parts or something like that. So if we look at this out of perspective, okay, let me just draw those in on this layer, just so we can make it so the reason why I'm doing it like this is so we can make things so I can hide the other layers, and you can really see how things are, because sometimes things get a little bit confusing when you've got a lot of guidelines and stuff like that. So all we need to do is work out how to split up an object into 6 parts, or however many parts that we want. So let's take a example out of perspective, because again, it's easier to visualize out of perspective. So we know to find the halfway point, like so. Oops. Like so. So this is the halfway point. So then we're just going to keep breaking this up again. And I'm going very rough on this because this is just going to be the example. So again, it's very rough. So we're not worried about how to make things look great at the moment. So we've got 1, 2, and then we could split that in half. 3, 4. So this is 1, 2. This is in quarters if we take this one. So let's split it into 1, 2. Where should we place the windows? Let me think. So let's have like a double window, and then let's just have 2 double windows. Okay. So let's split this up again, like so, like this. So we've got. We'll take this as being like a double window, like this kind of width, and we'll do the same at this side. So all we're going to do is we're just going to split this object up. So let's just zoom in a little bit. And let's break this up. Now, what might make a bit more sense is if we... I think I've messed the top of that building up, but it's on the wrong layer, but it doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to... I completely forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to just get a thinner brush, just because we're working quite small. So we've got this line. Let's add this in. This in. So we know the halfway point. This is the halfway point of the object right here. Like this. That kind of thing. So let's split in half again. Then let's split it in half again. So really breaking this up into very small parts. And again, like this. Okay, so the place where we want the windows to fall is on this line here. So what I'll do is I'll draw this in on the kind of finished layer. So let's put the line in here. In fact, what will be a little bit easier is if we grab an actual straight edge, like so. So I want this line here is going to be broken up, like so, and this line right here. So you can see there's one quadrant there and one quadrant there. Okay, so this should be, if we hide these lines, then if we clean this side up a little bit, like so, and you know, I'll do that at the end because it's going to mess things up a little bit. Alright, so let's bring our guides back in. Then let's do some more drawing. So let's split this side up. So this is the halfway point, this one here. So splitting this in half. Getting the measurement down to where this would be. Splitting this in half. Like so. And then splitting this last one in half. So we're nearly there. There we go. So the points in which we are splitting things is right here. Sorry. Like so. and right. So this is the middle point, remember? So we're splitting it right here as well. So having a quarter on either side. So there's going to be a quarter on the left and the right, and then there's going to be two quarters, or I guess a half in the middle. So let's get rid of them. Now, like I say, if we cleaned this up slightly, which, let me do that whilst I'm just talking, then cleaned the wrong bit up. Then we have a finished kind of window, and we can add the details in there. We can add little shelving coming off the window. We can add a bit of a 3D element to it, all that kind of things. But this is talking just about the actual measuring. So what I am going to do is I'm going to do perspective videos where we draw full-on scenes out and like how to clean them up and really make a full scene and believability and actual cityscapes and things like that. So as you can see, these windows are placed perfectly. So these are the same size and they're spaced exactly evenly apart. So let's get rid of, we need this line in for now, but we can clean this up. So if you've enjoyed this video, if it's helped you at all, then let me know by leaving a comment down below, and tick all the old down below. Click the subscribe button, click the like, everything like that. And again, leave a comment just so I know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. If you didn't understand something, then just let me know, and I'll try and do a video that will accommodate whatever you didn't understand, and I'll sort that out for you. So this bottom one is the road, isn't it? So we need to leave that in. So let's find our fence posts. There we go. So right here we have our building and our fence posts. So let's get rid of all of this. And we have the finished image. And like I say, I'll do videos on cleaning them up and making them a bit more believable and things like that. But this is essentially all I wanted to cover was the actual measuring. So if you want to learn more about perspective, then just go on my channel. You can click the subscribe button down below and go to my channel, and there's plenty of videos on perspective. There's ones on cartoon construction. There's all sorts of things on there, reviews for software and things like that. So just do that, and yeah, I'll take care, and I'll be back soon with some more perspective videos, and I'll see you soon. So take care. Bye bye.